that means flower auction in Aalsmer. Around the clock, around the world. Aalsmer, Aalsmer.
You will have like a sign like this with the push button. Push it, then you...
This means that our customers know where to go to purchase their entire assortment.
This is the auction room.
Two things matter in the auction room: the clock and the vases. The buyers buy from export firms and wholesalers in foreign
Yeah, you have to be quick, I guess. Oh, we have the
nearly
breakfast
all
here.
the flowers and plants you see in Aalsmer are exported. In this hall, you can see two projected auction cards. They work simultaneously and independently.
That's the price that's going there. Yeah. That moving dot there. I want them bad.
For the other. Each clock has an auction meter. The auctioneer's computer holds all the supply information, which is set electronically by the growers the day before the auction. Are auctioned in euro cents. If the start price is over €1, a red number 1 appears on the right.
Flowers.
As you can see, all this happens extremely quickly. Every time a minute. In the space of just a few hours, the auction system values the huge supply correctly for sailors and exporters. They then deliver the goods by lorry straight away to their customers, at home and abroad.
Some long stem tulips here. Building is maybe close to half a mile long. This is a testing room where the ladies examine and test each flower as to the quality and quantity and half a dozen different measurements and then report that back. Exotics here. Okay, we're in Keukenhof. This was the uniform of the ladies. The IKEA pavilion now in the orangerie. Spring to life. I was loving the IKEA exhibit here, taking pictures of the flowers and demonstrating vases, etc. We're in the Wilhelmina Hall. We've got a beautiful display of tulips here, different colors. And some Narcissus or Gladiolas. It's a sea of color. And outside is blooming a cherry tree. The orchid house here, there are thousands of orchids all over the place. Orchids everywhere. This is the Queen Beatrix house, full of orchids. This guy's sucking on a nipple here.
Smile.
What a character. This guy's enjoying his wife has got a similar shape, I think, too. Yeah, similar shape, Volka. Take your coat off, it could be a similar shape. We're just walking the streets of downtown Amsterdam, enjoying the sights and the smells and the sounds, and looking at all the strange buildings over there. That one looks like it's leaning quite far out into the street.
Look at the hooks.
The hooks they use here in Amsterdam to get stuff from the street with block and tackle. A lot of guys with interesting headsets here. Look at these two black guys with long hats on.
Straight out of Africa.
Little stride street we just went on. There's Popeye's coffee shop on the internet. An interesting little bird. About the size of a robin. To get on a cruise through the canals of Amsterdam, downtown Amsterdam. There's some people waiting right here. You might know this lady here.
For some of you, right is left and left is right. And you didn't order any alcohol, so nothing to help you with it. But sometimes I will remind you if I see people.
3,000 bicycles in this garage here.
So the bicycle garage, by the way, that we have passed is temporary. So we're heading for a part of the harbour. This is a closed harbour, 1807, old city centre and the dam over the harbour and the sea. Not the case anymore. So that's terrible.
The navigator.
If there is sun and not a lot of wind like today, then you can sit on the water here. It's on the water side. It's very nice terrace. So designed by Renzo Piano, Italian architect from Geneva. And the Science Center, Nemo, stands exactly on top of the entrance of a tunnel. So under the water here, there is a tunnel open. Boys in the Netherlands started very young. When they're about 10 years old, they joined their fathers very often. People that went to work on these ships in the 18th century very often were poor people. In the 17th century, in the middle you see red, white and blue with the letters A of Amsterdam, VOC, United East India Company, the owner of these kinds of ships. And you see 2 times red, white and blue, and that means a 2-deck ship. Hong Kong, the central station where we started behind the bridge, and you see 1 big tower with a cross and 2 small ones. That's the St. Nicholas Church, St. Nicholas, so that costs you money for maintenance. But perhaps you've already also seen we have also hollow concrete. It's still floating, but not really without anymore. If you look to the left, nowadays you can still see very clearly storage places. What you see here on the left are old storage places. They have a so-called spout gable or triangle form or bottle form. They didn't have windows, so you see shutters still, very old. Storage places had names, because there were no numbers on the houses, no street names indicated, no family names until the 19th century. Religious climate was very liberal here. There was no ghetto. People, of course, built their own synagogues and wanted to live close to them. So that's why this was the Jewish neighborhood, but not because they had to live here. There were also other parts where Jews lived. Religious 7 bridges often here.
7 bridges.
The view is still there.
Oh, that's nice.
And 421 here on the right. I'm pointing at it now. Do you see that? Dancing. Yeah. Also here there is space in between. So that's what we call dancing houses. Rotten posts. The water level has been too low. Too much oxygen. Some people then say, well, what we also see is that some houses lean towards the streets. And that's because narrow houses have a narrow staircase inside. Very steep, and that's why we have the... And behind it you have the second house, which you can't see from here, but the front house is the one on the left of the house with the staircase here on the right. Dark green doors. People on the bench in front of it. So you see people here in front of the staircase, on the left of it with the dark green doors, number 263, a camera hanging out. And it's on the right of the lunch cafe, and on the left of the house with the staircase. This is the front house. Behind it you have the second house where Anne Frank lived for almost 2 years with her family.
Okay, Paul. We're ending our trip. What is your final conclusion and analysis?
I think the tour is fantastic. Van did such a really good job.
What was the most exciting thing you did on the last 11 days?
I don't know, they asked that in the questionnaire too. I think Keukenhof was probably...
Oh yeah, your face in Keukenhof was worth the whole trip.
The highlight.
The smile you had on your face. And what was the worst thing on the whole trip? Anything bad?
I'm not going to put that on the video.
What, the colds?